When I get you back, oh yeah. When I get you back, oh yeah. When I get you back, oh yeah. I promise you'll never leave me. When it comes to you and me, there's no one else I'd rather be with. Baby, I won't let you down. I got it, I know you need it. Love is it when you're around. Oh, please say that you believe it. 'Cause I don't wanna lose you. I hope you feel that way too. No, I don't wanna lose you. Baby, don't go. Don't go. When I get you back, oh yeah. When I get you back, oh yeah. When I get you back, oh yeah. Oh, when I get you back, oh yeah. Cause I don't wanna lose you. I hope you feel that way too. No, I don't wanna lose you. Baby, don't go. Oh, when I get you back, oh yeah. I promise you'll never leave me. When it comes to you and me, there's no one else I'd rather be with. When I get you back, oh yeah. Oh. When I get you back, oh yeah. When I get you back, oh yeah. Oh, when I get you back, oh yeah.
You know, you don't have to be driving a
Yo.
lot or whatever. And so you
Miss D, they can hear you. Don't say nothing bad.
Oh,
hey,
wait.
I don't know if you guys know this, but me and my sis over here, we be having crazy conversations while y'all listening to the theme music, and then I'm like, yo, don't say nothing bad about Keely. She can hear you. I'm joking. I'm joking. Hi, Kills. What's up, JD? And my boy Adu Salam is here. Anyway, gang, welcome to This Week in Live. I am that dude, Doc Rock. I have my lovely partner in crime, Mrs. D, Miss Diana Glatney with a T. Now you can say something crazy.
Well, well, Merry Christmas to everyone. Nice sunshiny thunderstorms over here. So if I disappear, just call it what it is. It is what it is. We out here.
Everybody, check it out. Listen, gang. This Week in Live, what you're going to hear today is, imagine the app Headspace or Calm. This is Let's Get Live meditation space. Ms. D, let them hear the lovely sounds of the rain in the background.
It just calmed down, actually.
See, they set me up.
It was, because you was like, oh, what's that noise? I'm like, the rain.
It was funny. It was funny. It was just like, and it matched the music too, because like the music was playing and the rain was giving that extra little, like a Keith Pelzer mix to it. And then it just stopped. I just got played.
You sure did.
Damn it, St. Louis in the house.
Hey, man.
All right, let's quick shout outs to the, I see. It's like Beetlejuice. You call this dude's name and then, and then he here. All right, gang.
He heard her. You ain't heard me cussing.
let me make a minor adjustment because this is a doc move every stream. Not some streams, but all the streams. This is how I do. All right, cool. Now we're straight. Kim Boots is in the building. Mr. Camera Junkie is here. Hello, family. JD was here for it. He came like quickly. He actually beat. And then the Dunn twins are here. So Jeremy and Keely Dunn are both in the building.
Dunn and Dunner.
Done and done. And again, aloha, brother. Thank you guys for showing up. We really appreciate you. Mr. Earl Hall, thank you for coming through as well. We're going to get in today, catch you guys up on the news, what's happening in the industry. And you know what I got to say to all you guys that came right now and all you people that watch this in the replay, you guys are doing something that other people in the community aren't doing. You're keeping up on the industry news. And this is important. Regardless of what industry you're in, knowing what's going on, knowing what's coming can really make the difference between you and your contemporaries or you and your competitors, if you want to be honest. Wayne Gretzky used to always talk about what made him so good is he knew where the puck was going. He didn't wait until he had it on his stick. Now we talking hockey. The only person that knows what we talking about is Keely. But, still. If you're in the ice wrestling, it was a famous line of his that he always thought about where the puck was going. My old boss, Steve Jobs, may he rest in Apple, he also was very much about, it doesn't matter what we're doing here in 2021. I'm conferring what's going on in 2021 and a half and 2022 and future. So respect to you guys. Like, just go ahead and give yourself a little bit of love. You know what I'm saying?
A little bit of love. A little bit of love.
A little bit of love is all it takes. Sorry.
One of the tools I love is like Feedly. I think it's right. It's like FEEDLY.com.
Yes, I use that. The green icon.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I look for. Look for the green icon. It's like no matter what niche or industry that you're in, it's like you can be on two sides of the fence. You can be keeping up with what's going on in your space and on the cusp of things that are changing, or you can be finding out like a consumer and just like, oh man, can you believe that they dropped this? Now there are some things that companies do that they announce, but if you use a tool like Feedly, which is free, you can subscribe to the different posts that companies that stay relevant in your niche and in your industry, or different blog companies that are posting regular and consistent content about stuff that you care about that's in your space. Like every industry has stuff. Like truckers have a magazine. RVers have a magazine, different lifestyles have a magazine, stuff that's important to either your target audience or stuff that's important to what you're doing. Use a service like Feedly to help you keep up on what's going on. So you always keep your hand on the pulse of your people.
Yeah, very, very important. And, again, the one thing about knowing what's going on, you can make adjustments, you can make plans, you can make goals, things like that. Or even sometimes the crazy stuff is, okay, say you've been trying to get in contact with this person, right? Say I've been trying to get in contact with Keith for a collabo. And, he's been busy because he's about to put something out. And so it seems unattainable. Right when he puts it out, if you say, hey, can I get you on the show to talk about that new thing? And then he'll be like, oh, yeah, perfect. Why? Because now he's in promotional mode, right? When we were promoting concerts, we always went to the artist right when they was dropping the album because you knew not only could they not say no, the label was going to make them come. The label was like, we need to sell records. So get your butt on the plane, take yourself to the Lulu, and get this concert popping. So it was just a genius move, right? So that's another reason why you keep up on what's popping in the industry. All right, gang, we're going to dive in real quick. I see the family is talking to each other and, of course, making fun of me. Yes, Reddit and RSS feeds all day long. Actually, if you had an opportunity to see the video that I posted on the channel yesterday, I was explaining to you folks where to come and find some topics and ideas for your streams, because a lot of people will say, well, I got my basic stuff, but like I don't know what I should do next or what I should cover. And Reddit happened to be one of my places to go and find good content for your streams or your pre-recorded videos. If you do recorded content as well, you want to know what you should be posting about on Instagram, you want to be a fount of knowledge, as they call it, then yeah, I gave a couple good hints in that video, so go check the video. It was the last thing published yesterday. All right, let me check.
One. It's dope.
Let's see. And Kim, to your point, a minute ago, I didn't miss it, Kim. Let me go ahead and cover you real quick. Kim said, can we talk about your lighting? You know how we do, girl. I have been doing some playing around with my lighting and doing some adjustments and things like that. And I might have been last stream or it was on the doc stream. I was having a conniption fit because my Philips just started doing something absolutely crazy. I have no idea.
Turned into Panasonic lights. Panasonic, they start acting like Panasonic. Bling, bling, bling,
I'm
bling,
just
bling, bling,
keeping
bling,
it real.
bling, 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 bling,
Yes,
bling, bling, bling.
my hues, like, again, for people when they work, they work. If they're fine, by all means, don't listen to me, don't change it. But for me, mine were starting to flicker and do just random weird stuff. So what I ended up doing was something I knew I probably should have done a long time ago, which is switch them to all video lights. Like I wanted to remove any concept of a regular consumer bulb that could eventually cause another issue, Kim. So what I did was I picked up a pair of these Pavo tubes. They're not super expensive. They're $89 a piece, but even that light bulb right there, that's also like $80. So, and the two flat apertures that are on the wall pushing up, they're all $80. Actually, no, take those back. The two aperture MCs were 90. These two sticks were 90, and then that other one was 79. And so, yeah, I'm like $500 in the lights. However, it's gorgeous, and this can be any color I want, and I can do some neat special effects. If I do something crazy like put on the romantic filter and then go like this.
AKA the limlet.
AKA the limlet. Okay, don't fall. And then now I got to break this back off. I love my magnetic filter thing more than I love my romantic filter.
I was wondering how you was doing that. I was like, I didn't hear the little
It takes too
when you
long.
screwing it on.
It takes too
it's
long.
Like, ain't nobody popping filters like that but you, Doc. It's some people that pop pills, and then you got people that pop filters like, Doc, man, I could just throw whatever I want on that. But it's like I was trying to figure. It's like one day, it's like I was went to leave a comment, and then turned back around. I was like, how you take that off so fast? I forgot you had the little doohickey. That's all right. Look, Doc then left us to ourselves. Talk amongst yourselves.
You know me, I would leave y'all to talk amongst yourselves. I thought I had it in the box right here.
See, this is why you can't invite Doc to your show. If you ever invite Doc to one of your shows for an interview, you just know that you may have to fluff it up a little bit while he say, "Okay, talk amongst yourselves." It's like, sir, you the main attraction here. What's going on?
Here, what it is called, I'll show you real fast. It's called the Alter Rapid Filter System, right? And it started out as a Kickstarter thing. And of course, they need help with their website, but I'll show you the Kickstarter one because it's easier to explain. They're really dope, and you can still get them. Like, they sell them at B&H and stuff now. But basically, this little part right here screws onto the camera, and then it becomes a flippy up and down with a magnet. And then because I was in the Kickstarter, I got red. So, Keely, you can't buy red now. But that was basically what it was. And it is really, really handy, like when I'm out in the field, because when you're doing ND and off ND, neutral density, before I get yelled at by Miss D for saying stuff that y'all don't know what the heck I'm talking about, it's just, and I have dropped lens in the sand and completely crushed a $200 filter. So after that, I'm like, nah, I'm not about that life. So that's what's really
it's just
cool
helpful, as you're creating content. And I think the more that people everybody's investing in these cameras, and yes, you can use these cameras for live streams, as has been the primary source for the last year. But these cameras they were predominantly photography cameras, initial intent mirrorless cameras. They were photography cameras. So they take bomb.com photos. My professional headshot was taken by me like 3 days after actually owning Sony for the first time. And so and here's the thing, I knew nothing about Sony. I told my friend, make sure that the framing is right, like go sit over there and make sure it's right. I'm like, okay, now let me get up, because the eye autofocus will do the work for you once you sit down, especially for us glasses wearing folk. And that's important. And I was thinking about this week. It's like eye autofocus is for me personally is a standard. Because
yes, 100%.
It's like Panasonic. We don't get to Panasonic stuff, but it's like Panasonic went from like, now they're offering face and body and I don't know, it's like they supposed to do eye, face, and body detection. And I'm like, if you could focus right, you wouldn't need all that different stuff, because eye phase detection autofocus is sufficient, because you need eye autofocus for when it is something where it needs to default to face tracking and stuff like that. So when you do, especially for those of us that have stronger prescription glasses, sometimes because of a glare, or you don't have like the filtering or whatever, and you couple that with an ND filter, and you have all these different glass type elements coming into play, you even for video or photos, the eye autofocus is stellar. So being able to get you a professional headshot, because you can take it yourself with what you already own, is a game changer. And especially for those of you that own like Sony or a camera or brand that has eye autofocus, competent eye autofocus, it's legit. So, you know, that's whole other conversation on Panasonic, but we'll get there.
No, it's super funny. I am laughing at Keely because she not only got her Pavo tubes. Thank you, Keely. I'm glad you got them. I think it would totally change her setup, especially because it's magnetic and you can stick one of them directly to Frank. She got her iPad yesterday after watching JD and I. She was like, I don't want to get a new iPad. But she does have an older iPad, so it wasn't a bad move. And so
lateral, yeah.
She sent me the thing yesterday. It was like, look, I got my new iPad. And I was like, dope. So Keely, definitely, if you have any questions about it or you want to know some killer apps, you can group message myself and JD. And we can get you done and done. See what that guy is funny. That guy is funny.
Gosh.
How you like that?
All right. Anyway, so let's dive in. One of the things that I want to talk to you guys about, because Miss D goes in about this all the time, and there used to be a song by a famous hip hopper that once said, "But you don't hear me though," and I think people don't listen. And so now the proof positive is coming through. We tell you folks all the time, make sure you're making the content for the platform. Being lazy and ripping your TikTok video and slapping it on YouTube Shorts or slapping it on Instagram sounds like a good idea until it ain't. And the reason why is once people see Mikey over here cheating. Oh, Mikey just took that video, put it from TikTok and put it there. Everybody goes, wow, fantastic idea. So a whole bunch of other people started copying. And then now your Instagram, this is your crib. Everybody is in there with videos with the TikTok logo on it. How does that work? Right? You could not roll into the Pepsi plant 500-600 deep holding Coke cans. That's just not going to work. Like, yeah, I know it's free, it's my rights and blah. No, it's not. You can't do that. That's just bad manners, bro. That's just bad manners, right? I'm not going to come into your house and like bring your ex with me. This is bad manners, right? So sooner or later, they were going to get pissed and start to shut it down. And now it's always been rumored that Instagram does this. It's always been rumored that YouTube does this. And vice versa. It's always been rumored that TikTok does this. But Instagram is like, nah, we're going to put it out in the street. We will straight, get the shit out of here. No. The Kimbe Matumbo.
No.
The Kimbe Matumbo.
No.
So, Ms. D, can you speak to these folks about like making sure you're speaking to the right platform? Again, I know you're tired of saying it, but you do it so eloquently.
The thing with publishing, like especially video content that's in vertical formats, is that it's not just about it only being native to the platform, but it's really about speaking to that audience that is there. Facebook, aka Instagram, they have enough galls to at least say it outright, thankfully. And the reason for this is because sometimes if you are just getting into content creation, it's easy to mimic and copy other people instead of kind of trying to find your own identity. And so you may see a Will Smith, you may see a Viola Davis go and take something that they did on TikTok or something that they thought was funny or interesting or that's trending, and they'll reshare that on their account. And you'll see, well, that one got 500,000 likes and views. And it's just like, but they are on a whole different scale. Even somebody that is a priority and like they're literally just driving the nail home in your lane and in your niche, you can't always copy. It's the same rules as it is with YouTube, where there are things that you must do as a new an emerging channel, just like best practices that you need to abide by, that larger channels and larger, creators on the platform may not have to. And so if you are creating vertical video, one, it degrades horrendously if you just straight ripping it from one to the other. And even if you use like an online web tool that lets you take the logo off in a sense, it just doesn't work out well. But what you can do is make small alterations, maybe make it for TikTok and use the trending sounds and the things that makes it more native to the platform. But then so record it raw in your video, in your camera, so that you have the raw frame. What I'll do is this, and this is a pro tip for those of you that are, getting into creating vertical videos. Record it vertically. You can do this in Ecamm. You can do this in your camera. You can do this in your phone. Record it vertically and make sure you use a app like InShot or LumaFusion, and you have the baseline, no music, no maybe text or something on there yet. It's just a basic video. Save that version to your Dropbox, because you may want to reuse that a year from now, and you don't want stuff sticking or music that is outdated and becomes corny, kind of like the iMovie and Final Cut Pro type stuff that's in there now, like the lower thirds and all of that. It's like that stuff was fine at the beginning, 10 years ago or whatever, but now it's hella corny. Well, you don't want to get stuck like that, but you want to maintain the integrity of your content. Then go post that to TikTok, then go post that to Instagram, and do those things that make it more native over on those specific platforms.
Yes, I wanted to see if I can show something real quick. I don't even know if this is going to work, but we're going to do something dumb because it's Doc and I like to do dumb stuff.
And now for something a little bit different.
All right, let's see. Okay, listen, gang. You can come over here into Final Cut real quick, right? And then let me.
Are you going to show them ugly lower thirds? Them
No,
old school joints.
I'm not going to show I'm not going to show the ugly lower thirds. Okay, so this is the project that I made yesterday for the video that's up on the channel, right? Or the project that the video that I posted yesterday. You can right click on here if you're in Final Cut, and then you can duplicate this project, right? And then, so when you duplicate the project, I'll do duplicate as, and then I'll just call it vertical. Right? And then one of the things that you can do is come in here and change the thing to vertical, and then hit smart conform, and then press okay. And then it's going to generate a whole new product. Blech. It's going to generate a whole new project in the right format, if you will.
Yep.
So it's going to come vertical, and it's probably just tweaking out right now because you shouldn't do this while you're live streaming.
I didn't think he was finna hit the button.
But I'm docking, I am not afraid to tax my machines, but like my machine is going crazy. And Rob is like, yo, Sylvia, make a new shirt to say, this is Doc, and I like to do dumb stuff. Okay, so gang, if I double click on this vertical video where I misspelled vertical, but hey, elementary school, there it is. Like, only thing I have to do now is reconform my ending. And then but basically the video is ready to go. I just got to fix a couple slides here and there, tighten it, weave up. But in theory, this vid is ready to go. So I can easily convert this into a 4-minute Instagram story or an IGTV video. But yeah, now since I did it, I guess I better go ahead and finish it, because then Miss D was like, well, you started it now, dummy. So
it's like it's like I had did a tutorial on the Smart Conform, like on the channel, not the Let's Get Live channel, it's on my personal channel. But it's like, because it's like the way sometimes I think people are thinking about content, you're making it too difficult. Is the things that you think are hard is only hard in your head. Yep. Because you're only having a back and forth conversation with yourself, and that can be never ending. And next thing you know, it's like, well, I'm working on it, I'm planning it, and it's 60 days later and nothing has been published. And you're like, well, now I got a consistency problem. No, you just have a you problem. It's like,
the funny thing about talking to yourself, normally the part of yourself that I got two things to say about it. One is funny. One, I'm gonna ask the group.
I thought you was gonna say, and both of me's got something to say.
No. So the funny part about talking to yourself, normally the self that's talking to you is the idiot part of you. The smart part of you rarely talks to yourself, except that one time it tell you, do not call that person back. Do not call the person back. You done told them out your life. I know you know, want no squeeze, but don't call him back. Don't call him back. Don't do 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 do. You up?
What you doing?
No. So
WYA.
the other, oh yeah, what is it? What are you doing? WYD. Like, so yeah, the other part of yourself that says things is probably the dummy. So ignore that person. The smart person is the one that vocalizes. But the other thing I was going to ask everyone, because I had this thought come in my head today. When you talk to everyone, please answer the question. Do not hide from this question because it's funny to me and I just need to entertain myself. When you talk to yourself, is it inside your head or outside? Like, do you verbally talk? What the are you doing? Like
Inside.
you
It's
never
inside
talk to
the
yourself
cranium.
outside your head?
If I need to talk, if I need my, like, so first of all, I don't agree with the dumb you is always talking, because I'm like, yeah, I put that puppy to bed a long time ago. So, but it's like, for me, it's in my head, like, as I'm logically processing it. And the only times that I'm talking out loud to myself is to like in a very weird way, but it's not weird when you really think about it. It's like, one, it's like your words are energy, right? So it's like you put your hand in front of your mouth, you feel something actually coming out, not just the air, but like the vibrational frequency of your
BS.
voice. Okay, so because of that, it's like I need my body and my head and like everything to resonate, one, with my voice, two, with my words, and then like three, physically like snap out of it. So like yesterday, I was returning something to Amazon, and I'm sitting, I didn't even think about like what time I was leaving out. I just got dressed and left the house. I didn't even check to see if the store was open. So I'm sitting in the parking lot for like 30 minutes waiting for the store to open to make this return for the drop off or whatever. Get in there, they scan it, they just like, this is not for our store. Matter of fact, it's not for a store even in St. Louis. And I'm like, right. So get Amazon customer service. They like, oh, we can't find your account. And I'm like, giving them the information. And I'm like, and I'm sitting there for another 15 minutes or whatever on the phone. I get frustrated and I leave because now I need to go on a different day. And so, and I also got to wait for them to fix whatever this return stuff for this device. And I'm like, well, this is pissing me off now. And so the whole time I'm driving, I'm just like getting more and more annoyed. And so, and I'm like, so at that point now I need to talk to myself, because the inside is just further like amping me up. Like, yeah, and
Yeah,
can
come on,
you
you got
believe
this.
she couldn't find, and like,
Just
cause it's
box
like
that
on
lip.
the inside,
Bip.
yeah, it's like, man, I ain't no punk. How dare she couldn't find my Amazon account? I told her the email address that it was under. I gave her to write it. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, Diana, is it that serious? And I'm like, no. And I'm like, is it going to be returned? Yes.
Yes.
Are you going to return it the next day? Yes. Is it going to be for the full amount? Yes. Then what is your problem? I don't know. And I need to let it go. It's like, are you grateful that you know? I'm like, yes.
Yes.
And like, so I'm literally going through this back and forth, like to logically process, but it's like I'm doing this out loud, like while I'm driving, like, so can you chill? And it's like, I can let it go. You know, and that's the only way, like, because otherwise on the inside, it was just like I'd turn into Mike Tyson or something. So
that's me too. Like the just regular everyday stuff, whatever, it's completely inside my head. But if it has to happen, if it has to resonate, I will, like Rich said, I gotta be vocal. I gotta say it out loud. On those cases where I need to like woosah myself, I gotta physically say, I got this, right? And trust me, you guys think I'm joking? This is not a joke. Every day I stand front the mirror and I say, I am a creator. I've been saying this to myself every day for a year and a half, and I am watching my numbers grow. I am watching my behavior become creator-like. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just a thing. You know, a couple years back, these lights would have been something for my car. But the car been stuck in the garage for a year, so there's no need buying nothing for that. You know what I'm saying? Nah, it's into gear, you know. It's like, you know, don't get another, you know, $80 bag of coffee. Yes, it's going to be the most fantastic coffee ever, but can I use that for something, you know, like go and throw some buy me a coffees to my friends that are creators so I can keep them in their creator mindset, you know? Things like that. Like talk to the right people. Like my friends want to talk about whiskey. Nah, I can't talk to you. Why? Because I got to talk to my friends about this channel stuff we doing. You know, I got to go set up to bring my boy JD onto a stream instead of go drinking with my homies. I'd rather set up my iPad to get ready for a Saturday stream. You know, because the bar open. Hey, the bar's back. Let's go. Nope.
Right,
Man, you've been saying you
right.
can't wait till the bar open. I couldn't wait, and I can wait a little bit longer. I've been out of there for the last 15 months. I can stay my ass right here and do this thing so I can be ready for my stream. So that's why you have to say these things to yourself, because you start to perform in a different manner. Just as if you say to yourself, I'm not good enough, I'm not ready, you start to perform that way. It just is what it is. So anyway, back to This Week in Life. But yes.
This is This Week in Life.
This week in live talking to yourself.
How do you talk to yourself? Yeah.
Rob said the voices in his head talk to him in Spanish. Oh, brother. You have
That's a whole nother construct going on.
You have a little India Delgado in your head going, hey, Rob values. Okay, next story. Next question. Sorry, that's funny. This one, it comes up a lot and everybody's doing it, but like I'm a hard disagree. Instagram and Facebook are now enabling the ability to hide viewers, public like counts, and things like that. I'm kind of a hard no, because I don't think you should, but I guess I understand that there are people, especially in the younger community, who have put their self-worth into vanity metrics. Hence why we even have such a dumb word as vanity metrics I'd never heard of until this stuff became, a thing. Mm-hmm. And I do understand that, mental health is starting to take a little bit of a hit because of people applying their self-worth. But I'm just not a fan. Like, I think there's maybe better training or something. Like, I don't know. Just, how do you feel about it?
I initially was of the opinion, anybody that knows me, learn from my content, any of that stuff, like then I'm all about truly building up who you are beyond the beliefs that you have about yourself currently, because sometimes and most of the time those beliefs are lies. So I initially was just like, yeah, that's dumb, because that's not helping people develop that Teflon-like skin in the creator space. It's just, creating more of a soft, community, more or less. And I've changed that opinion the more that I think about it, because the more I'm looking into like human psychology of where we are and the time that we're in, the space that we're in, a lot of adulthood exposes more of the things that came from your childhood. And it's not just like, oh, did your mom or your dad, spank you or whoop you kind of a stuff, but more or less those psychological grooves. For sure, I definitely, it's like them psychological grooves, though, that were created when you were a child. It is sometimes very hard still for some people to reprogram that. And so I'm believing that that's kind of like part of those things. It's like when you're learning to walk, not one person is going to tell their 1, 2, 3, 4 year. It don't matter how old you are. They are always in a state of encouragement in those early development phases to continue to encourage you to walk. Even if you half step and fall, it's always like somebody to pick you right back up and say, do it again, do it again, do it again. So if I look at it from that lens and that perspective of a new creator having that baby-like mentality, if that is what it is going to take for you to get through your first year before you feel confident enough to turn it off, then so be it. But in a dual sense, though, if you're not careful, that double-edged sword can cut you when you do get to a point, because now you only show it if it's good or what you consider is good. Type of things, and you're trying to floss something and pretend you more than what you are. So I think you got to, if you're going to play around with that, because even mine popped up yesterday, like, would you like to hide the likes? And I'm like, no. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you put yourself out there, but it's like you're never going to start at your best version. But what you can do is be in a constant state of getting better. So if that is what it takes for you to get into that flow, that mojo of being in a constant state of being better, then so be it. I ultimately would say don't do it, because like you need to learn to look past the yays and the nays. Like you got to look past those. Like I put a post on Instagram. You got to learn to look beyond and learn to hear your audience. Like know your audience's voice versus hearing and listening to and adjusting because of those loud minorities that pop up in your group, show up at the stream, say like, you need to be doing this, and why you don't do this, and why don't you be like this other person? Because that's they stuff.
That's it. That's all
that's
them.
why you like them. Yeah, it's like if every burger chain, if every chicken chain was nothing but Popeyes and McDonald's, it'd just be a bunch of Popeyes and McDonald's 2.0. You know what I'm saying? Or just version B versus Popeyes being different from a Church's or McDonald's being different from a Wendy's or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got to be comfortable enough to stay in your lane and become you. And if you got to turn the lights and stuff off to get through that, then so be it. But ultimately, I would hope that people opt not to do that just because you need to develop that toughness.
You definitely got to. You know, it's funny. I was on JP High Tech stream the other day, and he was like, man, like, you going hard. And I was like, nah, you know what? If this stuff is too tough for people and it's bothering them, I just want to warn them to stay out of content creating right now. And the example that I gave is, as your moderator, and Kim would also, know this as well, on Fridays, man, you see some of the stuff that we delete that Diana don't have to read. Like, if somebody was to say that to her in real life and I was standing there, I might go ex-military on right then. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am Puerto Rican.
Let's get Doc out of jail. Let's
you know what I'm saying? Hey, can you buy me a coffee and now buy me some bail money? So, like, you got to understand, people, like, me especially, of all of the creator coaches and stuff you go to, I will tough love your ass because I don't. First of all, this stuff is not easy. We might make it look easy, but there's a lot of work involved to being able to even begin to do this. It is not easy. It is hard, and it does require some work, but it's absolutely fun. It is absolutely rewarding. And if you're not ready for someone to say ignorant things to you, you probably shouldn't even start, because it's fitting to come, right?
But you know what? But
I can probably
even
guess the kind of dumb stuff people say to Kim on her streams.
Yeah, it's like, even to that point, though, it's like you, kombucha, a lot of the community is just like on a more closer note, I guess. It's like, yeah, we really just kind of got in community over the last year plus now. And so it's like this June will make 5 years of making video content, period. Okay, it's been 4 years up until then, you know what I'm saying, of seeing the comment, deleting it, or moving on, even if it is in a live stream. So it's like that toughness had to be developed. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, it's like you're going to get stuck and stop your stream or stop your show or don't post no more or whatever. It's like, and I remember, like, early on, I used to get pissed. I post a video and somebody say something, and it's like, again, got to talk yourself through the whatever. It ain't keep me from posting the next one. But it's just like, how dare they? This, that, or whatever. But even more so on the live stream. So it's like, you just now getting moderators over this last year. But it's like, until then, you know what I'm saying, thugging it out for the last 4 years.
It's funny. Gang, if you're getting started doing this stuff right now, one of the first things you can do is find people in your crew that can help you moderate. So, big ups to Camera Junkie and to Kim Booch and that, who help us moderate our shows and stuff like that. Because it's very, very helpful to just have somebody else watching the comments for you and, kicking out any of the dumb people that come in. I cannot post a video without 2 minutes, video up, 0.35 hot live girls. And I was like, man, I don't want to see no hot live girls, you Jack Weevil. Like, it's anyway. So
yeah,
I'm with you. Like, I think I better understand, that was the wrong button, Doc. I better understand why it might need to be hidden. But, I'm going to always say, I personally, again, and I guess you were with me as well, I believe in the transparency. I believe in helping people see that they can grow right along with me. I know people that are following and helping us grow together, like they're kind of getting the opportunity to see the pains that we go through and help with the pains we go through. I know that some creators, their vulnerability streams or their vulnerability posts tend to be their hottest posts, so much so that now people are being cynical and think they do this mess on purpose. Nah, man. Like, if Kat Manning decides to go on the screen and bust out and cry, she's probably having a bad day. Like, there's no one in there. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's probably some people out here that'll do the fake cry, but that's just dumb, because if you get caught, you just ruined everything. So why? why do that? It's
Yeah.
not worth it. You know, I think that's short-sighted, small-minded thinking. And, you know, we can't fix those people. So we can just help our crew. Our crew is down. And if you need to hide your comments or whatever, do it. You know what I mean? If it's going to help you keep your sanity, then do that. If
'cause
not,
you never
you
know
probably help people grow.
I mean, you never know what background people are coming from in that way, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? It's like you want to put yourself out there, and it's a whole lot of anxiety that comes with that. And I full like when I just used to consume YouTube, just like it's not even a thought of making video or nothing. But I just used to watch. I remember what I would come across stuff that would be going viral at the time, and it would always be some vlogger of some sense, and it would be one of those videos where they are crying or they like this person broke down, and then you go to the comment section and you like, what the hell? Now this is back in the day when YouTube had a message, you know, a message board, and everybody that can tell you about the days when they used to get messages like DMs on YouTube was a dark wormhole, and it's like you just don't even want to go there. Just don't. Most people just like just don't even check it. I don't care. The baddest of the baddest creators, they just like, I don't check my DMs. Like you just don't go there.
Oh,
you deal with
yes.
comments, and that's it. Even to the point that YouTube just said, you know what, we're just going to delete this, and we're not bringing that back. So it's like I get it. It could get hard.
They had a rash of a couple creators, like, you know, unfortunately committing suicide because of the type of dumb stuff that people would write in the DMs. That's I think that's part of the reason why they got rid of it. Man,
I remember watching a list. I don't even know what spurred it on. I guess it was like one of those things like where it was going around because I just couldn't believe it. And I went to watch. It was like this. It wasn't like quite an Excel spreadsheet, but it was just kind of a list. And it was like all the YouTube creators that committed suicide. And it would be horrible, horrific things that you hope nobody ever say. Like you wouldn't say this to your worst enemy. Y'all may thug it out and, you know, just like go swing on each other, whatever. But then you go home. It's like, so to be in a creative space where you're hoping to reach people, connect with people, or even just for a lot of people, it was just an outlet. It's because they didn't have whatever family relationship. They didn't have the work relationship or friends that were deeply rooted friends. So for them to talk, so like YouTube was their thing, and it was just like this whole long post of name after name after name after creator, you know, that eventually committed suicide. So I hadn't remembered that in a long time, but it's like I do recall now. It's like that was unfortunately a trending thing at one point on YouTube.
Yes, it was. Before we bounce out of this real quick and finish up on cameras, I just want to remind everybody, Mental Health Day was last week, but you know it's kind of this month is Mental Health Month, and you know. Take a minute and catch solace. I know this sounds dumb. I think JD and I both talked about this the other day. He recommended a dope app called Portal. I use Calm. I used to use Headspace, and then I start using Calm. I think I might switch back to Headspace because I love their goofy cartoons that they put in there. But I take about 15 minutes a day to just sit there and like Pastor Keith says, let that marinate. Like I would just sit there and woosah, make my little coffee.
See, y'all getting apps. To hell with all that. I just go to YouTube. You find one of them 13,000 hour long still.
You know, I like the apps. No, Ms. D, I like the apps for a couple reasons. It does, like for my Apple TV, for instance, right? I get a nice little something on the screen, nice music. I guess you can do that with the free stuff from the YouTube as well. But it kind of connects in with the calendar, and it kind of makes you sort of go along and practice, and you can follow your progress. They also have guided tracks. It isn't just about that. Like for instance, there was one where LeBron James did a speak, and you went through like 12 sessions with LeBron, and you're sitting there, you're quiet, you're center yourself, and LeBron is talking you through just being better, being a champion, like coming to grips with your failures and all of that stuff like that. Yeah, it's kind of a thing.
Stop my jumper. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah,
yeah, you know, it was really good.
Throw me in the paint.
And
I get it.
He's talking about his championship and what was going through his head, like how he get ready for the game, and so he's walking you through. And then the cool joints is these nighttime stories, right? So I like to listen to this. And like last night, my bedtime's okay, gang. Don't. my bedtime
Man,
story was
if you don't
read.
got a bedtime story,
Hey,
what kind of life are you living? If you
Look,
don't
my
have
bedtime
one, what
story
kind of
was
life
read
is you
by
living?
Janae Aiko.
I don't know who that is.
What, you don't know who Janae Aiko is?
I don't
Oh
know who
man,
nobody
she's
is.
so
You know
she's
I live
bomb.
under a rock.
Okay, and then like you got Idris Elba can tell you stories. You got like Leona Lewis can tell you stories. So they bring in stars and stuff to like
Okay.
sit down and talk to you, you know. But yeah, this was my LeBron James track, and it's good. I mean, this is really good stuff. So if you get an
mean, but
opportunity, just try it.
That makes sense because they get it on a level that the average person is now having access to getting, because this just did not exist years ago. It just didn't. Like, you could write a book, and even if people knew your pen name or your real name, you know, depending on how you would write, it's like, that's it. Or the news, it's like only people in your neighborhood. That's it. You know, it was
Yeah.
limits to it unless you decided to become some musician or some kind of star or artist or something like that, or what have you. And it's like, that is something that is always prevalent in those spaces is, you know, unfortunately, like suicide and whatnot, because nobody understood. And you could, like a Robin Williams, still baffling when you think about it, somebody
Right.
that is always in a state of bringing other people joy in themselves don't have joy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
can
don't
make
know
you
why
laugh, but
they
I can't make me
hit
okay.
him and Heath Ledger hit me the hardest. And it wasn't like I was the hugest Heath Ledger fan, but I saw him on the rise. And
Yeah,
one
yeah.
of my favorite movies of all time is Knight's Tale. And so
Yeah.
that started it. But when they say, oh, he's going to be Batman, I was like, okay, I'm in. You know, like I was all about, you know, Heath Ledger and
You
where
mean
he
the
was
Joker?
going.
The Joker.
Yeah, the Joker. Yeah, right. So watching, you know, him go and then Robin Williams, because I'm like, bruh, I grew up Mork and Mindy, like Nanu Nanu, like that was my joint, you know, to see somebody who I just thought was so funny all the time, and then to see not just he was the not the last, but he was in a line of comedians. Like
Yeah.
Sam Kinison. I love Sam Kinison. You know, I was just going down this list of comedians that was like, you know, running into these things, right? You think of John Belushi. Again, I was a Blues Brothers dude all the way.
Yep.
You know, so that kind of stuff makes me think to myself, especially our community, right? We're not very good at talking about that. You know, we have these little cutesy words that we use in our community when something's not right. Oh, he's a little touched. And it's like, no, mommy, he's not touched. He needs help, you know? But, oh, we can't afford that. You see, so between our system
Yeah.
and then the
Yeah, yeah.
stigmatism,
Or even when like free clinics and psychologically, you know, institutes where it wasn't like they're going to put you in a padded room, but they are going to, like, even just the idea of not taking a sabbatical, but literally being in a place to where you physically can't work or whatever, and you need 30 days at least out to be in the institution or whatever. Nobody wanted to know that their family member was in a place like that. You know what I'm saying? It was like almost like they wanted to disassociate with you. That was like always the thing. And it's like they would rather say that you're on vacation than to say and normalize the fact that you were going to get help. So it just became a thing that never ever happened. So I get it. It's like the average man, the average woman is coming into a place with these creator opportunities to put themselves on a level that they've never had to be up on, and be out there to an extent, even just putting yourself out there for you to grow, to break some of these calluses that are happening on the inside, is crazy.
I just wanted to bring this up real quick. This book helped me out a lot. I don't have anxiety or anything like that, but just watching someone who I just, you know, figure had it all together come out and tell his story of dealing with anxiety and how, you know, like men in general have to get better at saying, hey, I ain't all right with this. You know, I need a minute, you know, like, this was a very good book to help me learn to start getting in touch and remembering to take times for myself. Also, and Rich, you on point. That's another book I was going to bring up is the David Goggins one. This also helped me out a lot because David Goggins is similar to me, not just being a dude, but being a dude that was a highly trained killing machine. And like, you know, you're not supposed to have, we're badasses, you know, you're not supposed to have those kind of like sort of less than human feelings. But this book helped out a lot. Like, this is good. And I actually this one I actually prefer the audiobook because he comes in hard. And again, if you can't afford these kind of resources, folks, he's done myriad videos with
A lot of talks.
live talks with Tom and Brian Elliott, a couple other people, TED Talks, the whole 9 yards. So by all means, check out one of these interviews on 92Y or something and get yourself in. Like Ms. D said, if you can't do Calm or Headspace, there's good apps out there. But please, especially while we're doing what we're doing, take time to go and just make sure your head's straight. Like it's very important. And you know, we got a lot of church folks in our group. Use your church,
share
man.
Share the stream with, even after the, you know, whether you're watching live on a replay. Of course, we appreciate you, but share this stream. I think it's not like always comfortable, but comfortable ain't got nothing to do with getting stuff done.
Nope.
You know, and it's like, and it'd be hard pressed for anyone, friend, lover, otherwise, don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Even just somebody that you know of, to one day, you know what I'm saying, you hang with them or watching they post or whatever, and then the next day they just ain't here no more. You know what I'm saying? So like, even if it ain't maybe comfortable for you to talk about or whatever, we're already talking about it. So just share the stream, specifically this one, out with, you know, someone that you may know or care about, because you never know where your people are and stuff like that, especially if you know they get into content creation.
Yeah, you know, I have a session with my coach, Noble Bowman, after this, and like even Noble, like he always checks on me and makes sure that I'm okay. And then in our community gang, everybody just knows him as the keynote guys. But like, if you need some serious kind of help, you know, you want to talk to somebody, you know, you lost a family member, whatever. Brother Bradley is a grief counselor. And that's his primary focus. You know, everybody just knows him as the keynote guy, or, you know, now recently the Canva guy. But I'm pretty sure he won't mind me telling you, if you really need to talk to somebody and you need, you know, some discretion or whatever, reach out to Brother Bradley and just be like, hey, man, you know, I need to talk to you about something. And then he can help you. Brother Bradley is that's his blessing.
Facts.
Bradley teaches if you're new around these parts. Most people in our community know who Bradley Benson is.
Don't know who he is, like to hear it. Here it goes.
Here it goes. So JD said he working on some videos to talk about how he deals with it, and he ministers and mentors folks. There you go, JD. And Kevin is here. Thank you, Kevin. Good to see you here, boss. Miss Sylvia is absolutely the bomb. She is the best in here. And then just, yes, 100% gang. Like, I think it's very important to just double check on yourself, man. So it's funny because I talk to myself all the time just to make sure that I'm in a good position, because, you know, it's just sad seeing friends of mine that disappeared. You know what I mean? Dude, you too? Oh, my God, Miss D. I didn't even know that about you. That's one of my joints, man. I listen to Baroque music and binaural beats. You want to hear crazy?
Yeah.
Before this became a very common known thing, about circa 88, 89, I used to have a little box. It looked like a Walkman, and you would plug your headphones in, and you were listening to binaural beats while you were doing like studying or learning or whatever, right? When I was in the Army, I used to use it to calm down when I had to sit in the foxhole all night. Then the other thing that was trippy was I went to a study eons ago. We're talking like definitely circa 88. And it was talking about how if you play Baroque music to plants, they grow better. People, when they're sick, listening to Baroque music. And it turned out that the 60 BPM, which is common for Baroque music, is a good good heart rate. There's a good heart rate for when you're fully relaxed is 60 BPM. So listening to Baroque music would just put you in the right sort of mindset. And it's crazy that I didn't even know that you was about that, because that is me.
It's like, it's different. Like, you got, you know, alpha waves, theta waves, delta waves, all this different stuff. And it's like, if
going back
even
Greek
if you just
again?
listen to the tone. No, even if you just listen to the tones, and you got to do it with headphones. You can't do it on the speaker. It's like, if you do it with headphones, and even if you just listen, just to Google and see what the hell we're even talking about. It's like, if you close your eyes and you just listen, you will physically feel your brain do weird stuff. Like, it feels
that normally
like a brain
I just green
massage.
stuff. I put it in between two sheets of paper and then never mind.
Well, then, this week in live, we're talking about Panasonic's announcement that was a little bit lackluster.
Yeah, let's do this camera stuff so we can get out of here. Hold on, let me pull it up real fast. You got me dying.
This week in live.
This week in cannabis.
This week in getting high.
Yeah, Doc over here. Yeah, y'all.
brother over here.
Can y'all come to my Buy Me a Doritos page? Today we're gonna review Cool Ranch. Cool Ranch.
Shoot, buy me a number 3. So this weekend live, Panasonic, we had some camera stuff, and it didn't quite pan out the way we was hoping this week. This week we were supposed to get, allegedly, according to the rumor site, supposed to get a Sony camera announcement. Well, according to Sony Alpha Rumors that apparently don't know nothing, as we all have seen for a long time now, Sony never hinted that they were dropping anything. They never said. It just was a rumor. And so he lied to us and said that there was going to be a camera, and there was no camera. So thanks, Sony Alpha Rumors, for making us feel like it was real. It wasn't. None of the signs were there. So at least worked to be yesterday.
Hopes and dreams.
But that's still something to be on the lookout for. A lot of people in this place will ask, should I wait for the new thing or go ahead and get something else? I'm of the opinion, like, if you need something to be creating now, get something to create now. Because even if it's within that 30-day window, you can always trade it back in and credit that towards a new purchase or return it or whatever. But I kind of am of the opinion it may be something there that you like or don't like, and honestly that prolongs you even getting a camera announcement officially. Even it's going to take you about a good 30 to 60 days, 45 at least, before you get that thing in your hand. And now you start the 30, 45 day learning curve of figuring the tool out. And now next thing you know, you 2 quarters into the year and you ain't never made anything. So I'm of the opinion, at least pick up a used camera body of whatever is closest to what you're trying to do and just keep your eye out on that announcement. But a camera that did get announced this week was Panasonic's GH5 II, and it was a womp.
Look, it's such a hot mess. The page is having a hard time loading.
The page
Page is like, man, people been coming over here saying hateful things in the comments.
Okay, the page can't focus and the camera can't neither. So Panasonic GH5 number 2 was announced this week, and while many people say they love Panasonic, the Panasonic community had been awfully quiet. Ain't nobody talking out the side of their neck this week, huh?
Where you at, Kevin? Where's Kevin Cox?
Ain't nobody ranting and raving. Everybody, all you got to do is, and so, but yeah, so the biggest thing that's been frustrating, I think, even to the Panasonic users and fan base that love those cameras and respect them, are upset a little bit because they, again, have another camera body that, even though the GH5 was ahead of its time, I think it came out like 2017.
Yep.
It did the 4K 60 frames per second. It been had the 120 frames per second frame rate, so super slow motion and all of that. It's been able to do things that other cameras of any brand couldn't do way back when. 10-bit 422 and all this extra other stuff, impeccable stabilization, everything other than impeccable autofocus and just reliable autofocus. Now this new camera comes out and it still has a lot of the same problems, very minimal updates, but there is one live streaming element that did drop, and it's be able to remotely live stream from the camera, no capture card necessary, connects to your phone, and you can live stream wirelessly. So that is an innovation if I have ever seen one.
I'm laughing at Kevin. Yeah, Kevin, you should take a full ass nap on this one, brother. No, I'm just teasing. You know what's funny is first of all, shouts out to the Boca brothers coming. Like, I am so happy to see Lot and freaking Kai back together. They are freaking hilarious. Like, them sitting in their chair, just like having a general conversation is super funny. But they get weird comments like, how was they supposed to make this camera to bring us a dead system back from the dead? And I'm not ready to say that Micro Four Thirds itself is done.
I don't think it is.
But it's getting harder because at the end of the day, what makes cameras just do better is bigger sensors. So when you're always working off of this small sensor, as everyone's trying to get to more information, there's not so much you can pack into that little bitty sensor. It just can't be done. So
I feel like they had an opportunity to put all of that to bed because the GH5 came out at a time that Sony's were overheating. They had a 30-minute record limit and no camera with the flippy screen. Canon was literally not doing 4K at all. So you definitely didn't have any cameras that did 1080p up to 120 frames per second. And they also had a 30-minute recording limit. Fuji and Olympus were still trying to go to that travel family type of a lane. And so they had no relevant cameras. And Olympus had also contrast detection autofocus, which is the plant autofocus in Nikon. Taking a nap, taking a walk, you know what I'm saying? Just not even in the picture, still dropping DSLRs like Canon is, or were at the time, that were just completely irrelevant. So Panasonic, in 2017, they dropped a major bomb because they also, a lot of people didn't know at the time, the GH5 was one of the few mirrorless cameras that was Netflix approved and broadcast quality approved. So the broadcast quality meant that Fox 2 Channel News, whatever, local broadcast station, it literally met the specifications to do that. So they were well ahead of their time. However, that time now has passed. Everybody on to bigger and better things for the most part. And where Micro Four Thirds being a universal mount system, Olympus has gone out of business. I don't care that they sold the company. As far as I'm concerned, they out of business until they show otherwise.
They go.
Because if you sell you don't sell a company to another company that doesn't have a good reputation of maintaining the companies that they buy. You know what I'm saying? Like that. You don't sell your company if everything's hunky dory. So they're out of business, and Panasonic's still playing around. Can't do full frame right, and can't do to an extent. Can't do full frame right, and can't do Micro Four Thirds right. So it's like they're not dying. Or they're not dead yet officially, but they in a resuscitative place, to put it that way.
Yes.
They need a shock. They need a jolt, and this wasn't it.
Kevin, I am looking for you because I'm pretty sure Metabones makes it. I'm looking at their site right now. But you can pick up a Metabone speed booster, Micro Four Thirds, the E-mount.
But we pass all of that, too. Here's the thing. All of that stuff was seasonal.
Yep.
Because it was to get you by, because there was nothing else out doing what you want to do. The biggest thing is that Panasonic created a new problem for themselves, especially with this Panasonic S5 that dropped. Why would I go through the trouble of getting a Metabone speed booster that diminishes the quality a little bit of the image?
No, it was more or less to adapt the lens because he got all the Panasonic lenses. You didn't even have to get the speed booster version. You can get the regular version.
I'm just saying the speed. I'm saying the speed booster for those that like the full frame comparison and stuff like that.
You
can always get an adapter, but it's like, but that was the thing. Everybody's like, well, you can just get a Metabone speed booster. Okay, that's cool for a while because that's the speed boosters were a stopgap. Yep. It was just to hold you over for a while. Just like everybody was talking about Sony and the lenses, and they ain't have lenses. So a lot of people that transitioned from Canon to Sony in those early days, when they had a lot of issues on their older mirrorless cameras, it was a stopgap. You know what I'm saying? With the adapters, and those sucked for a time, and now they don't. But now everybody's kind of like finding their lane, finding their groove, and Panasonic's still playing around. And the GH6 is like, you get a development announcement. A development announcement is like, we gonna sell you food one day. Keep starving in the meantime. Like, we know you ain't ate in a while. Just keep drinking water. You won't die if you drink the water, though. But food, you're gonna shed a few pounds. You may shed a whole human. But just keep drinking water.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't need the speed booster part, which you shouldn't anyway, the primary adapter can be as low as $25. You know what I'm saying? But like once you use that, because that's how I transitioned to Sony from Canon. I went from a 5D, a lot of lenses, all of that mess. I just got the adapter, and then I ended up getting a speed booster. And then I, sort of went through the thing. I normally use the regular ones more than the speed booster just because it was just easier. And slowly, Sony started popping off lenses. They just dropped like freaking 4 lenses in the last month. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So now your little jokes so he was like, okay, let me do this. I think my thing to me, I think Panasonic is getting away with what they're getting away with due to the fact that they have so much income coming in from the licensings for the Flippy that they sitting back. You know what I'm saying?
And they
Like
make rice cookers.
holla and air conditionings and personal massagers and big ass chairs to sit in and be like like the massage chairs. Yeah, so I mean, it's what happens, man. Imaging is not their forte. They do come up with fantastic designs and things like that. And I mean, they still making money off of anything that has a spinning disc in it. If you have any type of optical disc, like a DVD or a Blu-ray disc or a CD player, they're still making money off of that as Matsushita. So like, yeah, they're just in one of those weird spots. Like people we
Don't
know in the
have to
community
care.
that just try to do too much and then they don't get good at anything because they're so busy doing too much. Like they're in that same boat.
I think they hopped on a train especially when the Sony A7 III came out. Everybody now want to hop on to that. Sony A7 III was an industry disruptor because it did a lot of stuff, and Sony, kind of poked at the bear with everybody else. Like this. Oh, by the way, this is our basic model, our entry level model. This ain't nothing comparative to the A7R4 or even 3 at that time. And just a ton of other stuff. And a lot of people laughed at Sony in the beginning phases because they were trying to figure it out from their NEX camera series all the way up to the A5000, 5100, 6000. And these were coming out faster than I could keep up with. Next thing you know, 6300 dropped, then the 6500 dropped. When the 6500 dropped, people were like, yeah, it's about that time. You know what I'm saying? And then when the A7 III dropped, everybody's like, it's really about that time. So Panasonic then, want to hop in the full frame and like, oh, us too. We got one too. Our mama also bought us them new Nike shoes. But now it's just like, y'all not focused on, like, you got your filmmaker community, and they may keep you for stabilization and stuff like that, but most of the time they fly a gimbal. So the Blackmagic 4K and 6K, or even like the Ecamm that still use it, like it's way better Micro Four Thirds options out there, and they not even trying to play with the autofocus. They just like, we ain't got none, and they're like, okay, you know what I'm saying, and that's it. So it's like, why choose that versus a Ecamm? You know what I'm saying? It's what used to make sense don't make sense no more.
Yeah, and I'm kind of with June. Also, he's saying that Panasonic makes decent, 100%. Like they make decent products across a wide range of industry. Their philosophy was never to be the best, and
You sure worry about that.
That's weird. I mean, they do cover a lot of bases, and I do think it's hard. SK Crappy Catching Adventures. First of all, I feel like every time I see you make me feel like I need to go fishing, but I'm not going.
Oh, I just had rainbow trout for the first time yesterday.
Oh, it's good, yeah?
Yeah. I'm skeptical about trying new fish for whatever reason. I don't know why. It's like, I don't have a reason to, other than just like, I really love catfish fillets, but I was just like, I was like, let me get this rainbow trout. It was delectable. Very good.
Yeah, it is.
So now I get it.
If you're looking for a decent mic that's not going to break the bank and can sound almost as good as this, honestly, is right here.
It's a lot of stuff. Samsung Q2U, Audio Technica ATR 2100.
F what you heard. She just said it. This is going to cost you $60. We're talking about 3 fish. It's going to be about 3 fish. This little dude right here, the Samsung Q2U. Hey, don't press all those buttons. Samsung Q2U is both USB and XLR. It has a little switch for when you stab yourself with the, when you tying your flies, and you actually poke your finger with the hook.
I was about to say
and
something.
then you go,
when you're stabbing yourself, what have you been doing?
No, because he be making fish flies. So if he's doing this and he poke himself with that little hook, and then he want to say ungodly words, you can hit the switch real quick.
Yeah,
and then you can come. Okay, gang, I'm back. So it's got the little switch. It's full metal.
Playing right now.
I knew she was gonna say something. I knew she was gonna say something.
She's sassy. I'm gonna just unhook that ass, bro. But yeah, I mean, seriously, $50-$60 at Best Buy. It does, go back and forth on price. Comes with a neat little pouch, and comes with the stand and everything. Comes with the foam for the top so you don't spit all in it. and honestly, $50-$60 mic change your life. It'll sound good. And then if you want just a simple stand so you can keep your hands free, you can get a little boom joint like this. Boom's going to cost between $60 to $100, or you could actually use a little pedestal that we all use. Two pack of the little metal pedestal with the stick. 2-pack for like 19 bones. Miss D got it on her list because I got it from her. And it's handy. Like, just start there. If you really want to like ball out and like get even better, like, hey, I got paper today, I'm going to buy something dope. This one's 100 bones. And you know what? For what you're going to use it for, it's not that bad. Again, I don't know. I still say stick to the QTU because it's cheaper and it's probably going to give you a little bit better sound. But if you do need to bring in guests or have some loop back audio and things like this is helpful. You just can't hit the table. This one you might want to put on the arm because if you touch it, it's finna make noise.
I'm conflicted with that microphone, but I mean, we out of time today, but it's like I'm conflicted with that one. I'm gonna try some of the new update. I mean, it's just stellar.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to
Road is
update
Road.
to see.
Yeah, I got it when the announcement came out yesterday, but it's like I haven't had time to really test it. Today's a good day because I got ambient noise with the storm coming through and stuff like that, just to see with in a louder environment, would that still work with some of the things that they're trying to do? But I don't think you can beat a dynamic microphone over a condenser microphone in most situations and scenarios because most people don't have sound treated environments.
No, he tried to get you to eat cappies. Yes,
one thing at a time.
The AT2100 and the Samsung QTU are basically twins, so yeah, that's good. You know what? It's actually relatively good with background noise, believe it or not. Yeah, I think it's for the price. I mean, for 50-60 bones when you catch it, like I think it's hard to beat it. It's literally one of the best microphones. It's not a condenser; it's a dynamic. But the what you call this thing? The Rode one is a condenser, Mini. So it is a little sensitive. It is extremely sensitive.
Yeah,
but yeah, the Samsung is the move right now, and you can get one for relatively cheap. So I would just say try that for a little bit, and then get your Buy Me a Coffee page set up, and tell them that you're trying to get a ZV-1, and put your thing up for like the $600 or $700 that it costs, and just have people send you coffees until you get your new camera, and this thing right here will make your whole show. And it's gonna, one piece, little tripod, and you're good. And then when you do the fish ties, this got product mode. You get good pictures. I'm just saying, just set yourself up for success. Tell everybody, tell the universe you want a ZV-1, and then you're good. And if they drop a new ZV-1 soon, then these will be cheaper. So price already done dropped anyway. So there's that. Anyway, gang, both of us going to get in trouble because we got stuff to do. So this week we out. Remember, if you know anybody that needs any help or just need to remind yourself, come back and watch the stream, jump into the middle to that mental health section, and just take some time for yourself today, fam, because we need all of y'all around. I need you guys around so I can tease y'all in my streams.
And with that, guys, thanks for joining us for this Weekend Live. I'm Diana, that's Doc, and
you know how we
see
do.
You next week.
Ooh.
Same bat time, same bat place. Sorry for you Panasonic users. Get luck out the win.
Aloha, gang. You guys are awesome.
Back, oh yeah. When I get you back, oh yeah. When I get you back, oh yeah. I promise you'll never leave me. When it comes to you and me,